Yeah.
Hey.
Yo, like, hey, how you doing?
That's your happy birthday glasses. Very.
No. It's your happy birthday, not my happy birthday. My birthday's in October.
Right, but it's your glasses that says happy birthday on it.
Well, actually, they're my, yeah, okay. Well, my wife and I both use it sometimes, but she didn't need it tonight.
Y'all share.
Happy birthday, Dr. Chris.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it very, very much. Man, it's
everybody
awesome.
Everybody down here in Apter's Alley wanted to wish you happy birthday, bro. It's
nice.
Amazing. That wasn't even Vince Russo saying, bro. It's amazing. Everybody's here.
We're having a birthday, an unscripted birthday party, man.
I'm gonna unmask, so you'll see who I really am.
Okay. Oh, I knew it. It was red herring the whole time.
I thought I don't even like white herring. Ugh. Did you ever eat herring?
I never got into herring. Certain fish I'm okay with, but I don't think I've ever had. I may have had herring a time or two, but not enough to stick.
I only eat two kinds of seafood.
What's that?
Bumblebee and chicken of the sea.
Okay. You eat tuna fish, cans of tuna fish. Very nice.
Yes.
All right. What are we talking about today, man? What do we talk about?
You know what I want to talk about? I want to know, even though he swears his allegiance to him, I'm hearing me talking. Why am I hearing me talking? You good? All right, now I don't hear me talking. But he swears his allegiance to AEW. But I personally think MJF made a mistake. I really
think so?
And I'm going to tell you why. They had the Forbidden Door pay-per-view this past Sunday in Long Island, his hometown. And rather than putting him into a homeboy championship match, like maybe they could have had Swerve Strickland against Will Ospreay and MJF, they put him toward the beginning of the show against a Japanese wrestler, and it was a match. It was a really good match. Okay, so now, what's that?
He's from CMLL. He's a Mexican guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was from Japan.
No worries.
Yes,
No worries.
you're correct. It's late at night, and that was it.
It's all
So
good.
now, for now, no disrespect whatsoever to Daniel Garcia. He's an amazing pro wrestler, and he's really gaining steam. But for Wembley, it's going to be Daniel Garcia and MJF in one of the main events. Now, again, no disrespect to Daniel Garcia, but I think MJF needed to be with another major showcase name, and I can't find that person unless it was someone like Bryan Danielson, maybe, or Adam Copeland. I cannot find that person currently in AEW. Had he gone to WWE, yes, there would have been that mid-card probably beginning for him, but I think he would have had a lot more choices in terms of name, value, talent to wrestle against. What do you think?
I think the talent pool in AEW is pretty solid. I just think that the story, there's, as you're saying, as you're correct, there's, I mean, the storylines suck typically in AEW.
But the name value I'm talking about, like headline names, there are so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's Jericho, there's Copeland, there's Christian. I mean, there's a lot of name value in AEW. They just don't push them. I mean, they just don't give them pretty good stories. Right. There's a ton of people there, but it's just I think with MJF, it just makes sense of why he's there. I agree that he's not being utilized well. I also agree.
Who would you put him in against in a main event?
So I also agree that him and Daniel Garcia is weird, are already being announced too. That was weird, So I actually think that it should have been MJF versus Jack Perry for the TNT Championship. I think that would have been.
Oh, I think that would have been. I think that would have been excellent. I think that would have been excellent.
Yeah. I would have been locked in that because I do think MJF is still miscast. I think he's just a better heel. I mean, he's a fantastic heel. But I mean, it was just a weird payoff because he turned face with Adam Cole. Adam Cole ended up being the devil, got injured, has a weird faction now that's just kind of all over the place. Still they have no clue what to do with Wardlow, as that's been the theme for AEW.
You brought up my next thought. What he was gonna when I first saw him, I said, man, that's their version, that's their Batista. That's their and now he's like out of the mix. I don't see him anywhere. They put him with that group, and now he's like,
it's clear. It's clear, Bill, that Tony Khan has no idea what to do with Wardlow. Yeah, it's clear. The only thing is he. What sucks about Wardlow, not about him exactly, but about his current brand, is that he's so cool. I mean, he's like cold to the touch now, to the point that WWE, like, he's not even a hot commodity to WWE. He was at once, I mean, he was one of the most hottest commodities in all of professional wrestling. But Tony Khan cooled him off so much, man, that it doesn't even seem like WWE's interested in him. He's continuously been miscast and just poorly booked, man.
Totally miscast.
Yeah.
Totally miscast.
Yeah. I would have liked, I mean, it seems as if MJF is just kind of riding a wave and collecting a fat paycheck. He doesn't have to be in the limelight. He doesn't have to be in a riveting storyline. He doesn't have to do a lot of creative promos. He just gets plugged into a match, wrestles it, gets the pop of the fans, and go home and collect a fat paycheck. I mean, you can't blame him. Yeah, exactly.
Good job.
You can't blame him for that, man, for sure. So I'd be happy and he'd make significantly less than the WWE. So I mean, people wonder why he had that AEW tat, which I do think was excessive. But hey, I mean, if someone's paying him like AEW is for the limited amount of work that he's doing,
I'll tattoo my whole body.
give me a tat for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, let's see. We got Dez $4.99. Happy birthday to the doctor. May God bless you and many more. Thank you, Dez. Blessings to you and the legend Bill Apter. What is next for Bianca and Jade?
I've got an idea.
What do you got?
So at the Royal Rumble this year, one of the most telling moments was when Bianca and the brand new recruit Jade were face to face, and the fans popped. They popped. So I think little by little, we might see a little dissension between the two of them, and it might be time to put them together in a feud. That's what I think. What do you think, Dr. Chris?
I wish they would have done that while they were champs. I think it would have meant more if they would have had dissension while they were champs. I think that the WWE doesn't have faith in Jade as a solo competitor right now. I think they pulled her away because she's bossed a few times, unfortunately. She's got a lot of work to do. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I said.
She's still kind of a rookie in high echelon training.
Because in AEW, she didn't. While she was TBS champion, she didn't really. She wasn't expected to put on a clinic of a match. I mean, she was so like her meal ticket was her presence. Her meal ticket was her aura. Her meal ticket was her goddess-like stature. That's what Tony Khan was banked on for so long. But the problem is, during that year or whatever, year and a half that she was really big in the TBS championship scene and the undefeated streak that she had, it wasn't about her getting better in the ring. And with WWE, you better bring it. You got to bring it, which I respect. But at the same time, it's like Jade's got a whole line of new work to do when it comes to in-ring work. She's been exposed, unfortunately. But I think that they played her wrong, though. I think that we're talking about miscast. There's no way that Jade Cargill should be doing a lot of the legwork when it comes to the tag team matches. She should look, if you want to really bring her presence up more. Bianca's amazing in the ring. Have her do most of the legwork. Have Jade do the hot tag. And then there you go. I mean, that's the finish of the tag match.
It's kind of dissolved at this point, or I think it's going to be dissolved. That's what I think it's going to be a little bit. We haven't seen the souring of them losing the title yet.
Yeah, we should have. I think that's weird that we haven't yet. They've lost the title a few weeks ago. I think one of the reasons why we haven't seen it is because I think that they've cooled off on Jade. I think that she's probably doing a lot of training still. They probably put her back in the performance center to do a lot of training, solo. They don't want her to, because it would have made sense if you had Bianca versus Jade Cargill at SummerSlam. SummerSlam's only a few weeks away, and Bianca Belair has no spot. Bianca Belair, of anyone, has no SummerSlam spot. Makes no sense. What a fall from grace.
You're jumping to SummerSlam. You're jumping to SummerSlam.
No. It's just a few weeks away.
But neither Jade or Bianca are in Money in the Bank. I found that kind of like neither one of them.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. That's weird too. I mean, I like Jade Nia Jax. I think that I think there's still potential there. You talked about the Royal Rumble. I just think that it's time for her, Jade to continue to develop herself. But you can go back to Jade versus Nia Jax. I'm fine with Nia beating Bailey at SummerSlam because she's got that title shot at SummerSlam. I'm
Me
fine with
too.
that.
Me too.
And come back to Jade versus Nia Jax. You could even, if you develop Jade strong enough, I'm fine with Jade Nia Jax at WrestleMania. I'm fine with that. I think there's still money in Bianca versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. And I would like to see that. That's one of the Bianca matches that we haven't seen yet that I would like to see. Eventually, do we get Bianca Jade? Perhaps, but I don't think it's necessary, honestly, unless
Somebody
they're
said to
building
me,
two baby faces.
somebody said to me the other day, they said Liv Morgan is the women's champion. Do you think that the women's champion should be cast in this love triangle thing with Dominic Mysterio? Doesn't it take away from the ability of a woman's champion to be doing what she's doing as a champion? And I thought about it and I said, when she's doing this stuff with Dominic and Finn Balor or whatever, I don't think of her as champion. I just think of her as, it's a shtick type
Yeah.
of thing. When she's wrestling, I see her as champion. But what's your view on someone who holds the most important women's belt in WWE being in these skits?
I see where you're going, and I understand. And I think that world champions should be a cut above the rest. I think that their aura should be a cut above the rest, and I think that we're seeing an abundance. I think we're getting like presence fatigue when it comes to Liv Morgan, when it comes to her being champion. And if she's champion, she's got to be distinctive, and I don't think that she's distinguished. She has won me over partially from her character work. I do like her as a heel now. At first, I was pretty critical of that. I'm less critical toward that. The only problem is, man, I'm with you. I agree. I do think there should be some type of distinction with her as champion, because you just threw her and Zelina Vega in a title match. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it just didn't really mean anything. So, eventually, we are going to get Liv and Rhea, but you got to make it. You got to make me want it more, man.
You're talking about Liv and Rhea. I think this is just a prediction. It's not a spoiler. As Paul go through the table, ECW Hardcore. Congratulations! I can't believe you did that, Heyman. But I thought he was going to have a heart attack, by the way. But we'll get.
Yeah.
I mean, at his weight to go through that table, and he probably came up with the idea. Probably his idea to do it.
Yeah. Well, you're about to say something. I do want to get back to that in detail.
Go back to the with Rhea Ripley. When she comes back, what I think is going to happen is that she is going to pair with Damian Priest, who I think might lose the world championship to Seth freaking Rollins at Money in the Bank, and then break away from, and he's forced to break away from Judgment Day. And I think Rhea is going to come back, be all PO'd about the whole thing with Liv Morgan infiltrating the Judgment Day, and it's going to be she and Damian Priest as their own kind of separate entity, then feuding against Liv Morgan and Dominic Finn Balor. That's what I think is going to happen. They want to love her. The fans want to love Rhea.
I think that Damian is going to be completely separate away from even Rhea. I do think what's going to happen is, and I think he should. I think he should be completely. we probably will see Priest Finn at SummerSlam. I don't really care about that too much, but I do think that we will see Seth Gunther at SummerSlam. It's a bigger money match, which it just Priest Gunther is from how they're booking Priest. It's 4 weeks left before SummerSlam. It doesn't feel big money if you like Priest Gunther on paper from what we've seen. Just doesn't have that big money feel to it. Seth Gunther, yes, it has a bigger money feel to
There's
it.
a real threat. There's a threat.
Yeah, and plus, if like I want the babyface heel dynamic. Gunther is such a good heel, and if you're trying to make this SummerSlam's one of the biggest, and it's a big four. It's second, the third biggest pay-per-view of the year. And so you want to have that babyface heel dynamic to really have a big money feel to it. Priest is a heel, Gunther's a heel. It's just kind of blurry. It just wouldn't
Priest
have that.
Is trying to be so nice. If you see, his promos with,
which I don't like.
Rollins, no, but he's trying to be like a gentleman in this whole.
Yeah, which I think that's weird, though, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I do think we'll see. I think Finn will cost Priest at Money in the Bank. We'll see Finn Priest at SummerSlam. I do think I think we'll see Seth Gunther. I think Rhea comes back before SummerSlam. We'll see Liv Rhea SummerSlam, but Dominic will help Liv, and Liv will retain the title against Rhea Ripley. I think that's what's going on.
I couldn't have picked it any better. Who do you let's go now on to the Paul Heyman thing with that Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline dragging Paul Heyman onto the table, and Jacob doing that incredible leap that everybody has been doing, but he just seemed more like vicious than anybody else there. But when Paul hit and then he fell over, so to say, it was just, I was really worried about him because, again, he's not the weight of Paul Heyman that was in ECW.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that that's a. I mean, even if you saw him, like if you look at his face, if you do a still of his face, when he got into the triple power bomb, man, he just looked like he just looks just. What am I trying to look for? There's a lot of words that's there, but I'm trying to figure out the word that's more, politically correct as far as just not offending people, because I know WWE sees all this. He looked unhealthy. Is really where I'm trying to go.
Yeah,
but
he looked like he was going to die.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he just. And it's like, man, you just really kind of have to think about those things, because you're around Roman Reigns, you're around Tama Tonga, you're around Tonga Loa, you're around Solo Sikoa, and now Jacob Fatu, who cut a bunch of weight too, and so it's like you've got influences. I just think a part of your brand, he's 58, he's only 58, I mean, and I think I do think physical health, as someone who's a certified personal trainer and take physical health very seriously, I do think that Paul Heyman should take it more seriously, and to take those triple power bombs like that with his size. I'm not like hats off to him for doing something that bold. And like you said, he probably did do the spot. At the same time, what's that again?
He's hardcore.
Yeah, he is. But I think about those spots much more deeper. I'm like, man, that's a heart attack waiting to happen with someone his size. You know what I mean? And I'm concerned about that. Like it concerns me more than I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing spot. I do think I love the segment. I really liked the power bomb spot was a cool bow to it. I don't think it was necessarily needed, to really it did give it an extra little punch, but for the sake of Paul Heyman's health, it
Right.
wasn't necessary to do it. I think the spike and Jacob protected him well. He didn't do a full splash. He kind of did like a headbutt slash like arm smash when he did it.
Well,
If
you
you
could have fooled me. I mean, as fast as
yeah,
it
he did a good job. I commend Jacob for protecting Paul Heyman. He didn't do a full splash,
and
and I appreciate
I can commend. I was going to say condemn. I commend Paulie for just going out and doing that. I mean, he's all about making everything look good, and even his begging. And when he was saying, when that one moment with, "You are not my tribal chief," the tension that
Yeah.
you could feel as a viewer watching that on TV was so compelling, because you didn't know, you did not expect that they were going to do that. You expected maybe they'd knock them down, but
Yeah.
they never expected them to go that far.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, does this lead to Cody and Solo at SummerSlam now? I mean, that's what I asked before. You said Jacob Fatu. I don't see them doing that
Why Cody and Solo?
because he's the
I
head of
think
the table.
Solo's been beaten too many times, I think, already. He
I
doesn't.
agree, but they're
Yeah.
making him the new head of the table. I mean, eventually, I do think that we'll get Roman and Solo, but I think that they'll probably save that for War Games.
I think
So
that'll be Bloodline versus Bloodline in War Games. That's a
I
great
think they'll save
point.
it for War
Yeah.
Games.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I think, and that will draw. But what,
Who do you think?
what's that?
Who do you think will be a part of the teams?
Well, it'll be. I think the Usos will make up with each other, and they will go
Yeah.
with Roman. I don't know who the other person will be, and then of course it'll be Solo and his guys on the other side. Yeah, yeah,
So you have Solo, Tamatanga Tangaloa, Jacob
Jacob.
Fatu.
Right. So we need
Uh,
one more person.
so Hikuleo from New Japan, the other brother, they're he's left. Like there's rumors that he's coming in, so he'll be a
Hmm.
fifth.
And
Um,
then there's Zilla too.
yeah, I heard Zilla Fatu, but I think the Hikuleo from New Japan. I hope I'm saying his name right, but from New Japan, I think he's next in line. Zilla's got some work to do. I mean, he played he was in a Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion, and Booker T
Yes.
talked very highly of him.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a Fatu too. So I mean, he's
Oh,
being
wait a
trained
minute.
by a
Wait a
bunch of
minute.
Fatus.
Wait a minute. I
Oh,
got
what's
the
up?
I got the right. I got the last guy.
Who's the last guy? You?
Rikishi.
Oh no.
Perfect time to bring him back.
Oh no, he's not able to do that, man.
All he has
He's,
to
he's
do is think face, and everybody will be happy.
no. Well, he'll stink face as a heel. That won't work. Everybody be happy. That
No,
won't
no,
work.
he'd be on Roman's side.
No, I think Sammy is going to be on Roman's side. I think
Sami Zayn.
yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be
Yeah.
if you do 4-on-4, and it'll be probably Solo, Tamatanga Tangaloa, Jacob Fatu against Roman, Usos, and Sami Zayn.
Well,
Um,
although maybe Jacob Fatu they keep outside the cage and then he breaks in. So he's got that whole vicious thing. I hope they don't take that away from him.
I agree, but he's playing. He's more of a heavy for Solo. He's more like a
Yeah,
hired gun, for Solo. We
yeah.
got Rollin $2. Jade is their TBS champ. Shows how green Khan is. I mean, I think, like I said, that with the TBS championship, I just think that they wanted to make it more popular, and Jade being champ made it more popular because she had that image. So,
Yeah, and
you
plus
know,
it's a good image for TBS because you had
yeah,
this dynamic looking woman
yep,
who was representing that TV station as a pro wrestler.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. I
Thank you,
agree.
Roland. Yeah.
Indeed.
Which
All
con
right.
are we talking about? There's a con in both companies,
There is a
right?
con in both companies, not CON, but KHAN.
But it's
Although,
all, yeah, although it's all a con job.
although it's all a con, it's all a con. Yeah. So, Money in the Bank. Who's your winner? Real quick.
I think on the male side, it's going to be the fans want it to be LA Knight or Jay Yeet Uso, but it's going to be Drew McIntyre. He's going to have that one more big run. And the women, unfortunately, in the field that is open there, the only woman I can see winning that is Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with Drew. I do think Drew will win. He's kind of he's kind of playing a baby face in a sense, man. He keeps getting knocked down and coming back up and getting knocked down and coming back up. That's very baby
Yeah, like
face.
on Monday Night Raw. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is another time of him getting knocked down and coming back up. I think he'll win the Money in the Bank. For the woman, Stratton makes sense, but I'm going
Yeah.
I'm going out there, man. I'm going wild and bold and say Chelsea Green.
That's my second choice because
Yeah.
they've been pushing her recently, and the
Make her a
fans love
baby
her, and she's
face.
got that great. I got the briefcase. I
Yes.
could see
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
I think
Definitely.
it'll be a good time. I think it'll be a good way to bring her over as a baby face. So
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So let them know
Before
where to
we leave,
find you. Oh, yep. Yep. Yep.
well,
What you got?
I'm at after one wrestling, as you know, and but before we leave,
Okay.
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Chris. Happy birthday to you. It's
Thank
official now, brother.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, my brother. I greatly appreciate it, man. We are waiting for a couple of final touches, and there's a good chance that we'll be roommates again this year, like we were last year for a weekend, and so it should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
and we shall see. We should have some final
At SummerSlam.
final soon to be announcements soon, hopefully, and we'll take it from there. Last year was great rooming with you for the for the weekend.
Yeah, we
Um,
had a great time. We had a great time. By the way, for you people who are watching, two things: subscribe to the Sports Kita newsletters.
yes.
It's one newsletter, and every Wednesday is the Bill Apter special. And if you like what I did in the magazines, this is kind of a mirror of what I did for the magazines. So go to
Mhm.
Sports Kita, type and slash newsletters, and you'll find it there. And also July 13th, I'm doing my one-man show at the 90s Wrestling Con in Atlantic
Nice.
City, New Jersey. So I hope everybody, all of you, after this is over and Dr. Chris is finished with pancakes and power slams, go to Facebook and 90s, the number 90 WrestleCon, and check it out. And I hope to see you in Atlantic City next week.
Wonderful. Have a lot of
Yeah,
fun, man.
yeah.
Um, thank you for the wonderful segue there. Yes, pancakes and power slams. I'll be over there. We're gonna close up my birthday with a birthday bash, and I'll be talking about some interesting surprise main event, perhaps that Money in the Bank could be offering us. Before we leave, we got one more super chat. John, what type of gear is Bill on to starty in shape? What type of gear is to start? I think. What type of gear are you on to start in
I'm not
shape?
sure I understand that.
I don't know. Maybe stay in
Right now
shape,
it's a cough.
perhaps.
What type of gear is Bill on? Oh, what it's probably what kind of gear am I on to stay in shape?
Stay in shape. Yes.
Fruit Adventure Tic Tacs. Wawa meatball hoagies.
Okay.
White pizza.
Nice.
Canned tuna fish, and dark chocolate.
Wonderful.
I choke in here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It gets you some rest.
And my daily bottle of sparkling ice, orange mango, or strawberry lemonade, and vitamin B12.
Wonderful. Yes, indeed.
There was one healthy thing in there.
There you go. This guy right here is Bill Apter.
The python.
The brother.
Dr. Chris Featherstone.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, brother, when Dr. Chris and wonderful Willie run all over you? See you at the matches.
So long.
See you at the matches, everybody.
So there we go. I'm out.